That flight up to Lexington this weekend was people were fighting for their lives. We fly up on Saturday afternoon, and we're on a regional flight on Delta, so it's not a huge airplane. The setup is there's only like 3 rows of first class, and then in the back, it's 2 and 3. So 2 seats on the left, 3 seats on the right. So I'm on the 3-sider. I didn't get upgrade because there's only, there's a half of a Home Depot bucket upside down as a seat in the first class. So they're like, we don't have room for you. But I'm on the aisle. My seatmate all the way to the window had the full-blown bourbon alcoholic shakes. We all had that uncle who drank too much and he would shake all the time. And his nose was red and his stomach was distended. That was my seatmate to the right. Then, dude, you're flying to Lexington, Kentucky when a woman gets on the flight and her carry-on is a fucking lemon pound cake. That's how you know you're going into the city of diabetes. Everybody on this flight had a purple foot. Like, I cannot describe to you how many people above the age of 50 only had one foot working because the other one was clubbed and was rotting. And again, I'm from the South. I'm not throwing stones at a glass house. I opened with this material in Lexington and everyone was like, "You're right. You're right." So this woman gets on the flight. She's sitting in the middle seat and she shows up with this giant Pyrex dish. So it's like, the casserole dishes that your grandmother's used. Clear glass on the bottom, big red, like Rubbermaid top on top. And she's got a coffee in one hand, her bag. She's a little discombobulated. So, of course, I'm like, "Ma'am, let me help you." So I jump up. I grab this dish. It's warm. Y'all, this fucking dish is warm. And I ask her, I said, "What do you got here?" I thought it was like a spaghetti casserole. You know what I mean? I thought it was chicken spaghetti. I thought it was a 7-layer sort of turkey lasagna situation. It looked thick. It was warm. And she's like, "Well, no, I'm going to see my daddy for his birthday, so I made him a cake." I said, "You brought a cake on this flight? Homemade cake?" Do you know what? I pay people and they don't even bring me homemade cakes. Wow. What a beautiful relationship you have with your dad. So, of course, I'm inquiring more. I said, "Did you make it this morning?" She said, "Oh, yeah, it's fresh. I just pulled it out of the oven. It's still hot. I can't even touch the bottom." I said, "What flavor?" She said, "Lemon pound cake. That's Diddy's favorite." I said, Can I get a peek?" She goes, "You want a whiff?" Literally, "You want a whiff?" I said, "I want a whiff." So she pops open the red Pyrex dish. And I'm sitting with my bunkmate. So me and the alcoholic guy on the window are both just sucking it in. And dude, it was fresh, homemade buttercream, lemon pound cake. It was juicy. And I said, "Ma'am, this flight's only an hour, but if it was an hour and 2 minutes, I got to be honest with you, I'd probably get my acrylic nails in there and try and get a bite." She's like, "No, I wouldn't tell Daddy." I mean, it was a fucking hoot and a half. You're flying to Kentucky when a woman's carry-on is a lemon pound cake. Y'all, the amount of people with the diabetes on this flight, they ran out of seat extenders. They ran out of seat belt extenders by the fourth person who got on the flight. I said, Delta should know by now. If you're flying to Lexington, you got to have one for every seat. I mean, the guy behind us, he was really struggling. And they were like, "Sorry, sir, we're out of the seatbelt extenders." All of first class got them. So just buckle up. Just hold on. And I was laughing so fucking hard. I was like, "Yeah, buddy, we're going to Kentucky." I love it, though. And that's no hate, no shade. Shout out to my girl Logan. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to the whole team at the Lexington Opera House. I love seeing my girls up there. But every time I go back, I'm just like, yeah. And Lexington's such an interesting city because it is so much money from bourbon and the horse racing and like real estate. It's a lot of old money. And then on the other side of the railroad tracks, it is straight meth den. We went to like a quote unquote James Beard Award winning restaurant, which was And our waitress had one tooth and her fingernails were just a little, you know what I mean? She'd been wrestling around in her little apron for some loose cigarettes at the bottom. And you could see the cigarettes that had kind of crumbled apart in her apron. They were under the fingernails. And when she came to bring the water at the table, her whole palm was gripped over the top of the cup. And that's how she placed it on the table. And I said, "Guys, I don't know what the qualifications are for James Beard, but I don't think I don't think this is it. And we were laughing because I love Lexington. I've had great meals there. I have so much fun. But it's just funny. It's funny when you go to other places and you're just like, yep, high lows, baby, high lows. And again, I'm from Georgia. I will bring it. I will talk so much shit about Georgia. It's just Southern things. These are my people. I'm a classy broad, but I can chill with the waitress who's got cigarette dust under her fingernails. Don't ever forget where you come from, and I don't. And so obviously when I went to leave a tip, I left a nice tip, even though service was I left a nice tip and I left her cash. Because I know after work she wanted to go down to that liquor store and get something. But I gave her cash. I didn't want her to wait for the credit card payout. She wanted to clock out and get to rolling. I just gave her that cash. Because I want her to be able to make that deal and get on with her life. But we had a great show. So much fun. Such a great audience. I just feel very blessed.